Coach, the way Ed Collins played spur of the moment at ECU, did that obviously play into the decision to pretty much start him and play him the entire way?
Yeah, I think the way he was able to perform in the first ball game gave us some confidence in that he was going to be able to go out there and play really well in this last contest too, and he's practiced in a great way. I think the versatility that we have in that room is critical for us, and Sam being able to play inside or play out on the edge gives you the ability to rotate guys more and keep those guys fresh up front as well.
Josh, were you looking to get some momentum from? How do you carry some of that momentum from Saturday's game to this weekend with Houston?
Well, you want your kids to continue to build on their performance, right? No matter what the previous one, learn from it. That's what today is really all about. They come back in the building, they get a lift, they flush their bodies out a little bit and get a chance to watch tape. And so you want them to continue to grow in their pattern as a football player. And I think that's how you continue the momentum, is continuing to build on it during the course of the week, and that leads you to the next kickoff. There's nothing from the previous game that's going to directly translate into us making a play, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? That momentum, each game is its own game. Each play is its own independent play. And so I think the lessons that you learn are what you take from game to game the most.
Just generally with the offensive line, now that you've got to look at the game film, how would you describe how well they played on Saturday?
I thought they were in sync as far as communication, right? So we were targeting guys the right way all night long, whether that was with pressure from the second and third level or whether it was a base front. I thought our double teams and our movement up front, we changed the line of scrimmage. I said that after the ball game, if you're running the ball efficiently and effectively, it's because those guys are changing the line of scrimmage up front. They did that on tape, and that execution, finishing in the right way with the right aiming point and on the right target allowed us to get our backs in space and make a bunch of plays. And the long gains, that end up going for touchdowns, that's because of great perimeter effort as well. Trey Nixon in particular had a couple plays where he played with great effort.
Does the way you won the Temple game do anything as far as affecting the mindset of this team?
I think our football team's been really confident in who they are as a football team, and individually and collectively for a long time. And we've come out on the wrong side of it a couple times. We've been one play short. I don't think that derailed our confidence. I think outside noise is that outside noise. We know we're only as good as our next performance. Everyone's going to want to talk about Temple now. But for us as competitors, you got to move on to the next one. And it's getting prepared for a Houston football team that's extremely athletic. And we got to get ourselves ready to go play our best at 12 o'clock.
How big, you talk about it all the time, that you have to play all three phases. All three phases are important, and special teams pinned them a few times really deep within the 10.
Yeah.
So how big of a role, especially when it comes to field
special teams is critical. You want to win that phase of the game every single week. That's one of our goals every week. And to me, it was probably our best game of playing three phases of the game together, most consistently throughout the entire evening. The good news is we still got a lot left out there. We can be a lot better in every area. I thought special teams were critical in the third quarter, in particular, where they were able to pin them inside their own 15 a couple of times and change the way the game's played. As an offensive play caller, it changes what you're willing to call sometimes back there. And then, obviously, they're not ever going to get a chance to get into four-down territory. And so those things were critical. I thought our special teams units, our coverage units, played with great energy and played with really good technique as well.
Jake and Jonathan got 2 touchdown catches in the game against Temple. Were you looking to create more opportunities for the tight end position?
Yeah, we do. And, we've had some success with it in the past. There's some games where it just doesn't unfold that way. But absolutely want to continue to get those guys involved as we continue to move forward.
Adrian Killens was slammed to the turf pretty hard. Obviously went out with what appeared to be an arm injury. Do you have an update on his availability?
Yeah, I think he'll be back. I think he'll be on the practice field tomorrow. But today was in there getting rehab and that type of thing, but I believe he'll be back.
Along the running back lines, what does it say about the depth of that group, especially to see Bentavious come in, Otis go crazy like that?
We do have a deep group. We've said that from the beginning of the year. You know, 3 guys that have played a ton of football back there, inexperienced guys. But a guy like Bentavious comes in, don't change anything, have great trust in him. He's been great pressing the line of scrimmage, creating big plays, runs with low pads, finishes his runs. And so excited about what he's been able to do.
Another running back who's been injured, Greg McCrae. Do you have an update on his status?
I do not right now. We'll find out here, later this afternoon where he's at for Saturday.
Josh, on Adrian, I just want to get clarification. Do you think he'll be able to play on Saturday, or do you think he'll just be back practicing this week?
Believe he'll be able to play, but we'll find out more as we go through the week. Yeah.
Coach, Marlon Williams has had a string of good back-to-back games. Just what has he brought to the table? What is he doing?
I'm sorry.
Marlon Williams, what's
Yeah.
he doing now? What's he doing better than maybe he wasn't doing previously?
Yeah, to be honest, I said this to Marlon towards the end of the ball game. Just the way he's practiced, the purpose and the focus on each rep and the attention to detail has led him to being in the right spot at the right time and playing with more efficiency as far as doing his job and being in the right place. And at the end of the day, I think it's a great lesson. You keep practicing, you keep pushing, you keep growing as a player. Your opportunities are going to continue to come out on the football field, and you're going to be ready to take advantage of them on game day.
When you see, it feels like you guys have been hit very hard with injuries. Is it difficult to not allow yourself to get frustrated when you see all of that?
No, this is a long season, a physical game. Injuries are going to happen. We do have the mentality next guy up. That's why you continue to prepare all of your young players throughout the course of the season. And our football team has a lot of confidence in the guys that may not be starting and that you guys may not have seen a lot of on game day. And they have a lot of confidence in them based on how they've practiced.
Some of the penalties again on kickoffs and after plays.
Thanks for bringing that up. Yeah.
Was that really the only negative, the only big negative from this game?
It's not the only negative. There's a bunch of things that we can do better and need to do better. And when it's not going good, the video is probably not as bad as it seemed. And when it's going good, it's never as good. The video's never as good either. And there's plenty that we can be a whole lot better at. We need to continue to push on that. I talked about it earlier. Just growing each game. As you go through the season, continuing to grow. Good football teams get better every single week. That's the challenge for us is to appreciate and enjoy the win on Saturday and Sunday, right? Players come back in today, okay, now it's about the reality of what it really was and how do I get better individually, which will collectively make us better as a football team.
Josh, what stands out to you about the Houston football team you guys are going to face on Saturday?
It's a football team that plays hard, they play with great energy and on defense, fly around with the football and offensively, I think they still have explosive playmakers.
Coach, did you see the picture that Coach Ellerby's wife posted of their son in the Glenn Ellerby Halloween costume? And
I got a chance to see it. All the kids came into the building yesterday, and we had a little trick-or-treat around 5:30 and had dinner with the kids. So we got a chance to see him up in person. And he was in full Coach Ellerby mode, too. Just the way he was talking, carrying the clipboard around with him, he was ready to go.